Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the Altcoin show, coming at you daily as per your request. Here I am 6 days a week. We have the stock show on Sunday, which we did yesterday. Hopefully you caught that, because I do have a stocks tab in my cheat sheet, and there's been some good gains on that portfolio, as well as the crypto cheat sheet portfolios as well. But wherever you are tuning in from around the world, I want to welcome you to the channel. And of course, those of you who are regulars of the channel, smash that like. You know what I was going to say next. This helps get the content out to more people and helps to support the channel. Also have some great links below. My cheat sheet is listed below. It actually has all the links in it. So check below in the description of this video for my cheat sheet. So there's a listed below the Discord, which is also on the cheat sheet, of course. If you have not joined the Discord, we could join the disco as well, but better to join the Discord. You'll make more money there. And there's some amazing community there, really stocks and crypto. If you're not part of a community already, get started on that. But that's where I gave the Blub trade when it first happened. It was fairly into the evening, and I gave that trade up 800% on that trade. I gave the Tau trade, gave the Sui trade. Those are both up, I think, 400 and 300%. So I originally gave those in August. And so encourage you, be a part of a Discord, be a part of a community, get connected, and hopefully we'll get to see you in the Discord. The links are below for signing up for that. Okay, we're doing the Blub giveaway, a billion tokens. Maybe we have the winner, and the expert panel has chosen the YouTube user at Laurie Badir. Is that T1295? Lauri, hopefully I have pronounced this correctly, BAHDEAR T1295. And apparently it's also your birthday today. So a big shout out, happy birthday to you. You have won the 1 billion tokens from Blub. They will be sending those to you directly to your wallet. All you need to do is reply in the comments below with your Sui wallet address. Just copy and paste it in there. Make sure that you put the right address, okay? The right address in there. We don't want somebody else getting those coins. Make sure you put the right address in there, and the Blub team will send those to you directly. Congratulations, and thank you to all those that entered. I wanted to literally just pick everybody as the winner. Also incredible, and certainly I do plan on having more giveaways on the show to reward more of this amazing community that we are building here. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you, and I'm so thankful that I was able to get behind and support this community and was able to donate those, and those will be sent directly to you. I also want to share about something very exciting that I have decided to launch. It's been a few months in the coming, and I've decided now is a good time to launch it, but I am going to be opening up some private one-on-one trainings with me for just 5 people. I'm only going to open up for 5 spots per week at this point, and that may be all I will ever open it up for, okay? I may not open it up ever beyond that. I'm not sure at this point, but certainly 5. How can you be one of those people? If you would like to do that, there is an email address in the description below. Email me right away and you can secure that spot. The first 5 people that email me at that email address below are going to be the first 5 in the queue. From there, I will email you a breakdown of what it will entail and what the cost will be, and so forth. And if you say, yes, that's me, then you are locked in. If you say, no, look, I'm going to pass on that for now, then I'll move down to the next person, okay? And certainly you can find more details about that. I'm not going to go into all the details here on the channel, but certainly make sure that you're not fooled by any scammers. When you send the email address, first of all, an email has to come back from me from that email address that is below, and it should have what you typed in. So a scammer's not going to be able to reproduce that. So if somebody reaches out to you on the Discord, or just somehow finds your email address and sends you and say, hey, you've been chosen, no, I'm not. Only if you initiate contact with me on the email address below and I reply to you, then you are locked in as one of those 5, and then you get to choose if you want to hold that position or pass that on to another person. Just for 5 people, 5 spots opening up on a weekly basis for that. So please check that out. And of course, I'm never going to have any kind of long-standing commitment. I don't like those lock-in things. You were to do a session with me and say, hey, that's great, that's all I wanted, whatever, then we would just move to the next person on the list and you would let go of that position and then we move on from there. So certainly for me, there's never any kind of situation where if you were to do that and think, oh, I don't want to be one of those 5 people because it's going to be every week for the rest of my life. No, not at all. You could just choose to do one session and that's fine as well. Okay, so totally just wanted to put that out there. All right, well, let's jump into the news and in the charts with the time that we have left. Sui, top 20 soon. Yes, I think it's going to overtake Litecoin. Litecoin. It's going to take over Litecoin. It's just going to be a flat coin over coin. Sui is going to steamroll over Litecoin, just like it steamrolled over Polygon and ICP and Uniswap. It is just on an absolute tear. There it is, the Grim Reaper Sui. Sui is the Grim Reaper, and it's just absolutely leaving wreckage in its wake of other coins that just passes them by. And then if we look at Sui versus Solana, and Sui is more equipped for a bull run than Solana. Sui is 12 seconds faster. Sui can process 250,000 more transactions per second, people. Sui is the future. So certainly I am more bullish on Sui at this point. And certainly Solana has been struggling of late. I still am a big believer of Solana, and I'm still one of my biggest coins in my bag, Solana for sure. But certainly Tau has been on an absolute tear. Since I gave this trade, Tau has been crushing it, is up 21% in 24 hours. But this is interesting. I didn't know that 79% of the issued Tau tokens are staked. So available supply is down, demand is up, and that's why the price has gone like an absolute rocket ship. So, I will say this, and one of the benefits of Tau, and this is what I said months and months, I was telling people Tau, the supply is so low. It's like Bitcoin. Only 21 million tokens can ever be produced of Tau. It has a halving like Bitcoin, and the tokens are mined like Bitcoin. Certainly, I feel Tau can hit 3,000 in this bull run, but certainly I'm feeling right now that was an underestimation. Certainly, even as high as 7,000 to 10,000 is not off the table here for Potenza Tau. This could be the star of this bull run. Grayscale are a big believer. They started the Tau so that institutional investors can get involved via the stock market. It's just got 21 million. It's capped. It's a blockchain. It's AI. I mean, honestly, are you comparing Bitcoin to Tau on a Saturday evening? And this Barry Silbert, who heads up Grayscale, is. So, he's very bullish on, and he's selling again. You just can't stop this coin from just dumping on its holders. Another 100 ETH was sold in less than 3 days. They've sold 3,566 Ethereum this year, and they keep adding to the supply. They're just minting tokens and then selling them and dumping them on the holders. Absolutely appalling. Ethereum ICO, somebody who gained 150,000 ETH back when ETH was launched, just said, enough's enough. And they just deposited it into Kraken, and now probably that's going to get dumped, I would think, as well. People aren't. I mean, this is from years and years ago. They've held through the entire last bull run without selling when they could have sold at 4,500. So this is not looking good for Ethereum. I'm sorry if you're an Ethereum holder out there. I did manage to get out of Ethereum at 3,500. Polkadot right now, another coin, is doing 0.09 transactions per second right now. No one's using it. Its market cap is 6.4 billion. Nobody is using this. What is going on? There is like 0.09 transactions are happening per second on this chain. Party says, "What are you holding this?" Transaction per second makes even Cardano seem adopted and fast. Speaking of Cardano, doesn't look back very good for Cardano, and this is why I put them in the exits column. In the exits column, people, on my cheat sheet, so you could exit these coins and get into Tau before Tau pumps. Some of you did those, and some of you are up 300 or 400%, or you could have still been holding these dead or dying coins. Cardano, nobody's transacting on it. It's got a measly 0.41 transactions happening every single second. This means nobody is using ADA. Investing in unused technology in 2024 is not smart. Keep it real. Focus on facts and data. Why are the transaction per seconds so low? Okay, you've got to look at the data, and this is what I bring you every day. I bring you real facts, real data. I keep it real on this channel to help you. For those of you, I put those exit coins months and months ago. If you'd exit those coins and rolled them into the stronger tokens like Sui and Tau and Casper and Render, you would have made back all your losses and more. Okay, so there you go. And I know someone's going to ask, should I be rolling my Cardano or DOT into Tau now? I'm certainly going to answer that in a moment. But so this is the importance of being in the right coins at the right times and being in the stronger tokens. So crucial. And I shared this probably like a month or two ago, that they're right now currently in the market. It's the same amount of liquidity, but you've got 50 times the amount of coins. And this is why I think we're not seeing Solana pump. If you want to know my real opinion why we're not seeing Solana pump right now, is because people are like, how am I going to buy Sui and Tau? There's not the liquidity there. They've got to sell their Solana to move into Tau and Sui. They've got to sell their Solana and move into a Render or a Casper. And so they're just pulling from one bucket and putting to another. And guess what? It's going to happen. When Sui and Tau eventually start to cool off, investors are going to take that money and they're going to start rolling it into other tokens. And so we're not seeing all tokens really pump at the same time like we did in the last cycle. And I'm not saying there won't come a time where that's going to happen, because certainly there is some money coming. If you watched my earlier video today, a few hours ago, you'll see that there are $12 trillion sitting on the sideline in money market accounts that are not getting as much interest that I believe are going to enter into the market. So you've got the FTX money that's going to come back into the market as creditors are repaid. But certainly for right now, I think, being in the right tokens at the right time is so important. And right now that's Sui and Tau primarily, but I believe at some point they're going to be topping out. This is why I take profits on the way up, so then I can roll those profits into the next coin that is going to pump and so on. And then we have the X Empire airdrop that is coming up. Do not forget to connect your wallets. And it only takes a minute. You download a quick free download from the App Store of Tonkeeper, and then you just click on the airdrop and you click to connect your wallet, and it does it automatically for you. Literally, you could probably do it in as quick as it takes to download and click and connect. Minutes. It only takes minutes. I will be updating with a video before that airdrop, so you know how to do that. That's coming up real soon. Okay, we're going to jump into the charts here. And we've got Arweave. So this one now, we've got a break above the 50-day moving average here and the 200 EMA. So this is a good entry right here. You can take this entry. You can wait for a little bit of a retest if you want, but geez, that's 50 cents. You can get a retest, or you can front run it, jump in it now. Sometimes you don't always get a retest, by the way, so sometimes it's good to jump out. You can set your stop loss under the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. Just under 20. You can set a fairly tight stop loss there at around. So the entry is here, which is pretty much now at about 21.40, and then you can put the stop loss under here. Probably just under $21 if you want a tight stop loss. You could go a little bit under that. You could probably put your stop loss under $20.40. Is another place, or if you want to be even more conservative, you can put it under $20 for Arweave for the Arweave trade. So that's a live trade that I've just given right then and there. Banana is doing okay. Banana is doing okay. They did the right thing by the community. They're taking a little bit of a hammering. We have set a lower low on the daily. Keeping an eye on this one. Now it's just a hodl accumulation for swing trade. We're not going to look at getting in any swing trade until we probably break the 50-day moving average, which is around $40. So not much there for banana unless you love banana and want to continue to accumulate. It's definitely in the accumulation range. See my cheat sheet, the hodl tab for entries there. Someone who talked about bonk, I will talk about bonk just very quickly here. Very simply, it's quite bearish for now. We need to break above the 50-day moving average at 18. You could take a quick trade if it jumps, if a retest of bonk there, then you could take a quick trade up to 20, or you could wait until it gets up here to 20. A break, retest on that, and then we should be off to the races with bonk. But because Solana is struggling, bonk is struggling as well. Okay, and then Ethereum, we gave a live trade with Ethereum. You should still be up on Ethereum there. We're making our way to our target of 2,800. Probably a little late to jump in the trade now. I gave that trade back when it was down here, the 50-day moving average. And certainly if you got on that trade, you can see there was a successful retest of that and then off. And so we're looking at getting out of this trade at around about 2,800, maybe 2,900, just around this area here. You could jump out of it a little bit sooner here. There is a big order block there. Well, you can see it comes up to 2,800 there, but sometimes I jump out of these trades a little bit early, like 2,750 or whatever. That's for our Ethereum trade. For the HNT trade, certainly there was an entry back here on the HNT trade. If you got that entry, great. If not, there's not an entry that I am looking to give at this point for HNT. Possibly if we come back to where maybe the 200 EMA on the 4 hour at 717, that could be a fairly aggressive entry. More conservative entries, the 50-day moving average down at $7. That would be where I would enter. Successful retest there, and there could be a possible trade there for HNT. Casper just, it suffered because of the Casware issue where people got drained of all of their Casper as gas fees. I'm not even sure if they've made that right or not. But certainly here, what we're looking for on the 4 hour, we can see here, this is the 50-day moving average is held. So there's an entry here. If you took this entry here at 16 and a half, you might have got stopped out. Look at these little scam wicks that come down and stop people out there. And sometimes that's why I say have a less aggressive stop loss, because sometimes they just stop you out and then you're out of the trade and you have to get back in again. But certainly there was a second entry here to get in the trade. So if you got in that trade, you're up a little bit right now, but we have got resistance here. Certainly you could still, on a break of this, you could still get in the trade, a break and retest, and then you could look at where we could ride that up to probably just around the 17, almost 18 cents region. Certainly you could take it all the way up to the 21 cent region from where we broke down from. You could take profit 1 there and take profit 2 up here. Certainly this would be the best entry if we do ever get down to here again at around 15 cents. We could jump in the trade there with successful retest. But right now, those of you got on the trade are up a little bit on Casper. Certainly, we'll watch how that trade pans out. Render, okay, so this trade worked out great, okay? So I gave the entry at the 50-day moving average at $5, and that has hit $6.25. Hasn't quite come to a target of $6.40, okay? So sometimes you'll see that, and, sometimes you can take profit. I don't have a big money's money, right? $6.26. Sure, it didn't quite get to this target here, $6.40. But I mean, this could come all the way back. So certainly, if you manage to take some profits there, great. If not, you can either hold the trade or maybe look at putting some kind of stop loss in here. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. Maybe you can put a stop loss here that if we were to lose this area here, I mean, what are we at now? Yeah, if we lost like around this line here, what are we, 597? So maybe we got 595. You could maybe put a stop loss in there. But certainly, this was a great trade that we got in here. Absolutely. Look at this fabulous trade. I gave this on the channel. I actually set you up for these trades. So hopefully you're taking notes in here. But I gave this trade at $5 a break and retest, and you're off to the races there with Render. So hopefully you got in that trade and made some good money on that one. And then we're going to go to Solana. Solana, again, if it came down, I was able to get back in the trade for Solana here. So I took profit up here, and then I was able to get back in the trade here at around 141 or 142. And so, and then we popped up, and then we're coming back down again. And so didn't quite get to my take profit target there, but that's okay. But certainly we've got some good solid support here, and so this would be a good place to get back in the Solana trade at about 140 or 139, and certainly could put a stop loss at around maybe just 137 there for Solana trade. So, and then we have SUI, which again, so I took profits at 155. Okay, it went up to 164. Didn't quite hit my take profit target of 170, but that's okay. Certainly, I will be adding on any pullback. And what kind of an entry can we look at here? So let's. So this is the trade. So I gave this trade. Actually, I gave this trade all the way back here, by the way, all the way when SUI was down here, and I continued to give this trade while we were under the 200 EMA. This was buy collection zone. You can look at my cheat sheet, both for HODL and for swing trade. These were buy zones. And then just before Blub and SUI took off, Josh and I did a show about buying Blub and buying SUI. And what happened after that, it absolutely took off. I gave a final entry here at around $1. I gave another entry here at $1.12. And so that was kind of the last entry that I gave. So I gave so many entries. There were so many options to get into SUI. And now people are asking me, oh, can I get into SUI? Well, I don't buy big green candles. I'm waiting for this to come back. So to come back to an extreme level, this would obviously be awesome at $1. I'm not sure that that's going to happen. So we've got to go to these other time frames and say, okay, what looks a little bit more realistic? We've got the 200, that's at $1.07. Let's go to the 2 hour, $1.19. So that's where I've got bids at about this area here, $1.20 to $1.22. And so you can see here, that's what I feel that we may look at coming back to. Certainly, we may only come back to this 139. So if I had no SUI whatsoever and I was wanting to add, or I didn't feel I had enough, certainly an aggressive entry would be at around the 139 line. And it is an aggressive entry. Certainly, I feel that we could come back to this 122, and certainly Bitcoin has put in some bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. If we see a pullback from Bitcoin down to that 60, 61 area, 59, then we could see these altcoins come back down as well. So then obviously 122, and then further down there, we've got that other entry that I gave you around 112, 114, and then down to $1. But certainly 139, if you've got aggressive entry, for me, I'm not taking that entry, but I'll take the 122 entry. Would I possibly consider an entry at 139? Certainly maybe for a bit of a swing trade, just to, if I felt it was going to bounce off here with a stop loss and go up for sure, that would be an option there at 139. So that's an area that we're going to keep an eye out for SUI. Hopefully got in the SUI trade. Since I called this trade, we're actually up 400%. 400% when I gave this trade at the August bottom, down at around 40 cents, 400%. You want to do 400%. You've got to buy the fear. You've got to buy the blood on the streets. People were talking about Bitcoin going down to the low 40s and 30s, and I was saying, I was sharing in my cheat sheet, these were the levels that I was accumulating along the way. Okay, and then we're going to finish up with Tau, one of my favorites for this cycle. Absolutely took off like a rocket ship. And again, I urged people here that I was buying down here, I was buying here, rode it up, took profits, got back in the trade, 225. I was still saying, hey, 230, 240, 250, all the way up to $285. I was saying this was a trade. I actually and bang, that was the place to get in the trade. And I gave that. You can go back to my show on Tuesday, the 17th of September. You can look at that show, or even the day before or the few days before. Go and look at those YouTube channels. I gave that trade there. And if you've ridden that up, it went all the way up to $580. And so this has been the importance of being in the right tokens at the right time and not being afraid to sell tokens in loss to get in the right tokens, because I don't really ever see it as selling and loss. What are you doing? You're just moving your tokens from one coin to another. You're still in loss, but you haven't realized that loss unless you take it to your bank account. And so this is a mentality that I had to get over in the last board. I'm not selling and loss. I'm going to hold this all the way to the bottom. It doesn't make any sense. I had to slap myself. I slap myself silly. That's thinking. And the best thing that I have done this bull run is the ability to see which coins that are either not going to make it or are not doing well and move them. Did we look at where to get back in on Tau actually? Oh, it would be the level here. If you had no Tau at all, aggressive, risky buy there is at 480, but it can be more risk not to buy some and ride it all the way up to 3,000. So I would probably get 20% here. Where else can we get it here? Certainly there's another entry there at 431. So 480, 431, come down to about 380-ish. And then we're down to 365 and 330. So those, but here's the deal, Bitcoin has a major correction. This thing could come all the way back into the 200s and may give us another opportunity. So if you are dollar cost averaging, split your buys up to 5, 6, 7, 8 different buys and dollar cost average. And certainly though, I feel a correction surely is coming at some point. If you think it's going to go to 3,000, you're going to make a 6x or whatever on it and buying at this level. So you could treat it a little bit like Bitcoin and just dollar cost average a little bit each day. Because at the end of the day, if I believe it's going to go to 3,000, buying it at $500 will look like an absolute bargain, but certainly you can get a lot more Tau for your money. You don't want to go all in at these levels here. You want to be able to look at some dollar cost average levels here for Tau. All right. Well, I hope that helped everybody today. And until the next episode, happy trading.